Hello, my name is Matt Kleinhens. I'm with The Ohio State University, and I serve as the coordinator of the Extension, Outreach, and Teaching Working Group within the Vegetable Grafting Project listed here by name and supported by the USDA SCRI program. Today, I'm honored to represent the working group in this report, and I will begin by saying that we truly appreciate both your interest in what we share and, just as important, any feedback you provide. By the end of the report, you will be more familiar with the Extension, Outreach, and Teaching Working Group in terms of who we are, what we have done, some of the impacts and outcomes of that work, and questions we have for you. We are also very interested in questions you have for us. Please note that I refer to Extension, Outreach, and Teaching as EOT at various times throughout this report. I'm just using EOT as shorthand for Extension, Outreach, and Teaching. Viewing other working group reports has probably made clear that everyone associated with this USDA-supported project wears multiple hats, that we have multiple responsibilities. That is definitely true for EOT working group members also, many of whom are pictured here. You may know or have worked with some of these people. One of the most important things for you to know about them is that they and we are a subset of the team for whom Extension, Outreach, and Teaching is a primary responsibility. Although very clearly, like other team members, they contribute to more than one working group. Contributing to more than one working group is by design. That's because many talents are required to achieve anything large and complex, like facilitating the wider and more successful adoption of grafting and grafted plants in U.S. vegetable production, which has been our charge. For us, boundaries between research, extension, and teaching are blurred on purpose so that each informs and helps the other. Boundaries between members of the SCRI supported project and other people working to help stakeholders, perhaps like yourself, use grafted plants as production tools and sources of income more effectively are also blurred. The SCRI team is a core group of people distributed nationally and joined by others. However, the SCRI team has had the specific responsibility and goal of catalyzing and facilitating increases in farm and business success through grafting, and very importantly, in a coordinated way and on a national scale. So certainly, we are national in scope, and we keep the big picture very much in mind. However, day to day, the big picture is focused down onto issues and opportunities on individual farms and in existing and emerging businesses related to vegetable grafting. Again, given our USDA and university affiliations, research is our first step in developing any EOT-related resource or program. That is, we test, we record, we analyze, and then we repeat that process, which is very characteristic of research. However, once one or a group of us has sufficient data, our next step is to ask how the data, the research results, can be put to action to benefit people. As you can imagine, the data sets have covered many topics over the years. A few representing major areas of interest and need are shown here. Needs like identifying important traits to include in rootstocks, helping develop, test, and select those rootstocks, enhancing grafting methodology and grafted plant management, and evaluating the economics of grafting. You may see yourself in one or more of the three groups of stakeholders listed here. I want to pause briefly to let this sink in because these are the people we work for. So these are the people we are speaking to, yourself included, throughout this report and in other reports. That group of people is large and diverse. Therefore, our approach to extension, outreach, and teaching has been multifaceted. We address stakeholder needs using all 6 of the types of resources and learning opportunities that are listed here. Team members have created and offered literally dozens of specific examples of the types of resources and learning opportunities listed over the past 8 years or more. There are far too many examples to highlight individually here. So I'm going to move quickly, actually very, very quickly through the next 30 or so slides, and I did say 30. At times it will seem like an avalanche, a snowstorm, or torrential rain of input. Please just sit back, relax, and focus on the overall impression created by the examples that are shared. The vegetable grafting website houses many unique resources available only there. At the same time, websites offered by individual groups provide additional content focused on issues important at the state, regional, and national to international levels, such as this decision tool designed to help nurseries, that is businesses, preparing and selling grafted plants, set up and manage their operations. Resources at the project-wide site also include an online grafting manual built by the team and links to other manuals developed by smaller groups. At that same vegetablegrafting.org site, you will also find information on solanaceous and cucurbit rootstocks and a searchable database of referee journal articles and technical reports produced by people around the world and focused on the very practical application of grafting in commercial vegetable production. Locating citations is too difficult or time-consuming for some people. So the database has been useful in that we have done the work for them. The team also offered webinars and recorded those webinars in-house and in collaboration with Meister Media and other outlets. Individual team members and groups of team members produce narrated videos, which are becoming increasingly important. And they also use social media very effectively to get the word out. Live events have also been a huge part of our EOT portfolio. You may have participated in or know of one or more of the live events that are listed at this site. Most of the events offered by the SCRI team and some non-SCRI team members as well are listed at this page of the website. The events included very familiar and effective types: field days and demonstrations, workshops, trainings. All of these programs attracted dozens to hundreds of people. And again, I'm just showing a mere snapshot, a mere very small subset of all the live events that the SCRI team members have offered over the years, designed to bring the information directly to stakeholders. Classroom instruction and hands-on trainings in traditional and non-traditional settings, and with a very diverse group of people as participants, have also been very important. Perhaps you already heard a friend or a coworker, maybe even a niece or a nephew or a son or a daughter or a grandchild, mention their experience with grafting in a classroom. As you can appreciate, that experience is critical to current and future industry leaders and leadership. Grafting has also been featured in dozens of presentations delivered during conferences of all sizes throughout the United States. Many of those presentations were delivered by SCRI team members or somehow informed by them. You may have heard or contributed to one of those presentations, so we appreciate that. Oftentimes, grafting-related display and learning tables were held at the same conferences. Dozens of stakeholders spent hours at tables and clinics chatting with experts on many topics and reviewing videos and publications, basically taking advantage of all the resources and the expertise that were present there. The tables and clinics are just one of many important parts of the EOT record. It's important to note that the tables and clinics were often staffed by graduate students, staff, and other professionals who were receiving training through the project. Some of these people, including the two people pictured here, have since moved into their own extension, research, teaching, advising, and industry positions. And of course, having done so, they've carried the grafting expertise that they gained through their experience with the project with them. And they are now more well prepared to lead additional, stakeholder-facing efforts focused on grafting and other topics. Similarly, presentations have been geared to a wide range of industry stakeholders, including not only those who prefer in-person classroom-style instruction on a range of topics, but also technical experts, breeders, geneticists, company representatives, and others like those folks who assembled for the rootstock session held during the recent Tomato Breeders Roundtable. We also ensured that extension educators and agents had equal access to the information we were developing, information they can apply in their work by hosting, and we did this by hosting tours and very intense, comprehensive symposia and in-service trainings. During those programs, people from around the globe and next door discuss grafting and its use in detail. They also develop consensus-based take-home messages to be shared with their stakeholders at home. Bringing people together from far and wide to review information and hammer out messages that apply on nearly every farm and in nearly any business with a steak and vegetable grafting was very important. At the least, that process helped ensure that all stakeholders, regardless of where they are located, receive the same key input. It was also important to get the word out to our colleagues in Extension, Research, and Teaching by sharing information at meetings hosted by our professional societies. For those unfamiliar with the term abstract, and it's listed there in the title of this table, in this case it means a report on research or experience-based findings. Those reports are often the foundation of extension and teaching-based resources and programming. In other words, that those resources or that programming typically don't exist first unless there is this report or the data in this report to begin with. So abstracts are an indirect but reliable indicator of EOT activity. The table clearly shows that the number of reports rose dramatically in the past decade during the period of the SCRI project. Of course, team and working group members also publish articles on their own or in collaboration with media partners. There are far too many newsletter, trade publication, and other types of articles to feature here. Here I am just trying to provide you with a glimpse at the number and the diversity of publications that the team produced. And of course, there is no question that on-farm research, which you are hearing a lot about and other working group reports, has been exceedingly important to achieving the EOT goals. And there's no substitute for assisting stakeholders directly, one-on-one or in small groups. No substitute for direct consultation, for the kind of consultation that comes from just chatting about an issue to completing a full-fledged on-farm evaluation, for example. Well, that direct assistance is also what we hope to be achieving here as you listen to our reports and participate in discussion. Although we would much rather be having that conversation in person, and of course we look forward to that being possible someday soon. So when we add all these apples and oranges, all the videos, the resources, the web pages, the trainings, field days, workshops, articles, when we add all of those and more together, what do they equal, or what do they lead to in terms of impact or outcome? What have they led to in terms of impact or outcome? Well, I do think it is reasonable to conclude that they supported significant increases in all of the metrics listed here. EOT activities and resources help raise the national experience and knowledge base around vegetable grafting. They helped increase access to information, expertise, and grafted plants. They helped increase grafted plant use and, very important, stakeholder success, regardless of their area of work, but especially as those stakeholders prepared, sold, and used grafted plants or advised other people on those same topics. We also believe we have registered increases in enthusiasm for and a desire and a need to know more about vegetable grafting. That last point, an increase in enthusiasm around grafting and an increase in the need to know more, speaks very well for the future and where my comments will end. So going forward, pending your input, which is essential, we see value in further optimizing methods used to prepare and distribute grafted plants and management protocols for production systems involving those same plants. Propagators and others continue to have questions about meeting their goals for efficiency and demand for grafted plants. Optimizing in-field management protocols could begin, for example, with identifying important traits, developing rootstocks, and testing their performance under a wide range of conditions to ensure that the continued increases in fruit quality and in system efficiency, sustainability, and profitability. All of those big words are a mouthful, and sometimes they just come across as buzzwords, ones that people toss in. In this case, I believe they are truly genuine, and they speak to a true desire to use grafted plants as production tools to increase all of those, make gains in all of those particular areas. We also see value in developing tools for more reliably gauging when and where grafted plants will provide an appealing return on investment. But the question probably shouldn't stop there. It should also continue to ask, is there a chance? Is there a possibility? Is it reasonable to look for information or try to develop information that would expand those very same situations? In other words, increase the number of situations in which grafting offers an appealing return on investment. However, your input on future directions, of course, remains important. So again, I would like to thank you very much for listening and commenting. And just to wrap up, I just want to mention that this has been the Extension Outreach and Teaching Working Group report for the USDA SCRI supported vegetable grafting project. And we look forward to hearing from you soon.